I made some books featuring my daily drawings, and I've been wanting to do a new one for a really long time now, but it's just not happening. And I think the only way I'm actually going to do it is if I force myself into doing it, which, now that I think about it, makes a whole lot of sense, because my daily drawing project that spanned 14 years and built my entire career as an illustrator was really just me tricking myself. At the time I started it, I realized I wasn't drawing as much as I used to be, and that kind of freaked me out. And I couldn't just be like, oh, I should just draw more, because I wouldn't do it. So I was like, I'm gonna do a challenge where I have to post a new drawing online every single day, and that was enough. And that was the motivation I needed, and I kept doing it, and the longer I did it, the more I had to keep doing it, and next thing you know, I'm a professional illustrator. So how am I gonna trick myself for this? Well, I was thinking I could just document the whole process from start to finish, from planning it out to putting it all together to figuring out printing and funding, everything, because I'm gonna self-publish it, I think. So I thought if I start recording this, I'll have to do it, especially once I post the first video, because then it's like, okay, you guys can hold me accountable. That'll be your job. So we're in this together. This is as much about you forcing me to do it as it is about me delivering, because I don't want to let you down. I'll let myself down all day. I'm not going to let you down. Well, let's talk about the reason why I want to make this book. Well, around daily drawing 700-ish, I was like, you know what? This is crazy. I've done 700 days in a row. When I get to 1,000, I'm going to make a book featuring all 1,000. And at the time, I was like, sure, I can say that. That's in the future. The future doesn't exist for me. I don't know if that even makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. If something's in the future, I'm like, sure, yeah, we'll do that. That's what we'll do then, because it's not right now. Anyway, I got close to 1,000, and I was like, I gotta make this book. And I knew I had to self-publish it. A publisher wasn't gonna touch those first 1,000 drawings, and I wanted to include all of them. This was right about the time that Kickstarter came out. I decided that I was going to use Kickstarter to try to self-publish this book, and I was terrified. Hi, my name is Chris Piascik, and I thought that if my Kickstarter project failed, it meant I was a failure and I was gonna have to, I don't know, stop being an illustrator and do something else. Anyway, it didn't. It was successful. That's a whole other story. But I made this book, 1,000 Days of Drawing. And if we're being honest, it sucks. I hate all the first 1,000 drawings, but I'm a little bit hard on myself. But it does feature all of those drawings. Luckily, these are sold out, though I do have it as an ebook in my shop, but I would recommend not getting it, because I don't want you to see these drawings. But I guess it's nice to know that talent is a lie and it's more about hard work. Anyway, I had 500 of these made. It is a thick book, and I'm proud of it. Even though I don't love all the drawings, having it all together as an archive is pretty cool. One issue, though, is even though it has like 300 or something pages, there's still 1,000 drawings in there. So there's some pages that are just like jammed full of drawings. I don't even know if that's visible. So they're pretty small, but it was important to me to include all of them in this for some reason. After I did another 1,000, I was like, I'm doing it again. And I did the same thing. They almost look the same. They go together. Look at this. This is another 1,000 Days of Drawing. This one's a little better. Still not that good, but it's daily drawings 1,001 to 2,000. And this has pizza rat. In these books, I broke it up into category. We got food, bike stuff, politics, music. Did a lot of patterns. Look at all these patterns. Boy, howdy. Self-published this one with Kickstarter as well, 500 copies. Both of these are now sold out in their printed form. So I kept doing drawings, and after 10 years, I was like, I should do a book featuring my favorites from the first 10 years. And for this book, I didn't include all of them, obviously. It was just like my favorites, so I highlighted the ones that I liked. And this was really cool because I could not include all the garbage ones in there. And then I revisited some of the early ones. It's a much thinner book, but it's like the ones that I liked the most and revisited. There's also a really cool aspect to this book. For my 10th year anniversary of daily drawings, my lovely partner Shayna and my BFF Josh Lafayette reached out to a bunch of friends and other illustrators and artists behind my back and had them make versions of my drawings, and it was amazing, and they surprised me with it, and it was like all on Instagram, and they showed up, and it was one of the sweetest things anyone's ever done for me. But those are included in this book as well. Like Kirk Wallace, Bonehouse did that one, Cindy Lau, Shayna and Josh did them too. Mary Kate Devitt, Ryan Freese. This book is a good one. The problem with this book is I did these through Kindle Direct, and the quality is decent. It's good, but it's not as good as like the ones that I self-published. So that's one issue. The other issue is the price keeps going up on them, and it's like not even really worth it for me at this point. So I was like, oh, I should just redo this book and order them in bulk so I can have them. But I don't want to just do the same book. I want to do the full book. Did I even say that's what I'm doing yet? I want to make a book about the whole process, the whole 14 years of daily drawings. This project is super important and super special to me because it literally transformed my life. I know that's hyperbolic, but I didn't even consider the idea of being an illustrator. Like, I thought I was going to be a designer. I went to school for design. I worked as a designer. And that's like what I thought my dream job was. And although I enjoyed it, being an independent illustrator for the past 15 plus years has been incredible. It's amazing to me every day. It feels too good to be true. And I owe it all to the daily drawings. I started posting them online. After about a year of posting, I started getting project requests based on those drawings, and then over time it continued and continued, and it lined up perfectly with when the economy just completely shit the bed in 2009-ish, and the studio I was working for kind of imploded. We lost probably our biggest client, and I had to go out on my own. And at that point, it had been 2 years into the daily drawing project, and I was getting somewhat regular illustration work, and I just kind of leaned into it, and I'm still going strong today. Since then, I've worked with clients as big as Coca-Cola and McDonald's and Google and Nike, just giant companies that I couldn't have even imagined being part of my client list. And it's all because of these daily drawings. So I want to make a book that's like the whole thing, and not all of them, but just like highlighting the process from start to finish, maybe including some of the early ones side by side with like some reworkings of them. I want to include other stuff like some activities, maybe some prompt lists. One of the hardest things about a daily drawing project is like coming up with new ideas. And, I want to have some of that in there. I want to include some of like the collaborative things that I've made where it's like the your art ear challenges. So like having those in the book. So it could be almost like an activity book too. I also want to show some sort of case studies too, where it's like showing how specific drawings or series of drawings led to client work. For example, I did a series of, weird and quirky cars that I liked, and that led to the Hot Wheels packaging that I did that are right here. These limited edition Hot Wheels, Silver Series, collect all 5. That's still mind-blowing to me. And I don't know, other stuff. What do you think? Should we do this? Should we make it happen? Are you on board? Because we got some decisions to make. So one of the things I'll need to consider is how I'm gonna get these produced. I know I don't wanna do these on demand. I wanna get them done. The last thing that I did was this little mini book called Skulls and Lulls, and I was happy with the quality of this one, though, this is more of like a lower page count thing, but good print quality. I think this was done by a company called Mixum. I have a video or a short about that, but yeah, like rich, deep colors, good quality. So, maybe I could reach out to them and figure out if they have an option for like a bigger amount. I also have to decide like how big the book's gonna be. Like these early ones were pretty small, 6x8 maybe. The 10 years one I think is like 10x10. So I don't know, does it need to be bigger than this? What do you think? What's your favorite size book? I think this one's 8x10. So these are the things that I'm gonna need to decide. 1, the size and like how many pages are in there. 2 is like what I'm gonna include that can document the process of doing the 14 years of drawings. Like maybe I should include some photos of like the original sketchbooks. I think I have one right here. This bad boy right here is daily drawing book number 1. The early ones were all done in little moleskin sketchbooks because I don't know, that was one thing I decided. And they all were like just like one-shot drawings at the beginning, where it was just like, just draw something quick, don't think about it too much. That's what I did. Towards the end, or even as things went on, like they got to be finished, complicated pieces. For years, I was like doing them on the iPad, doing them on the Cintiq and Photoshop before that. But like the early ones, like this is the first one, just straight pen to paper, no sketching. It's literally almost like journaling. It says like, I want to draw, and then it's like, I started here. The problem I have with these moleskin books is that the pages bleed, because I guess the pages were thin and it bled through to the back. So like, clearly it was nonsensical. It was just whatever. I didn't really think about it. But I just, there's some character and some soul of these things, I guess. I don't know, they're pretty bad, if we're being honest. Like, what is this? Like, I drew that and thought, I'm gonna post that on the internet. So this is from 2007 is when I started these. Alphabet Arm Design, shout out the design studio that I worked at that I imagined was my dream job. Not that it was a great job, but my dream job is being an illustrator, doing my own thing. So in this series, we're gonna figure out how we're gonna make these books, how big they're gonna be, what's gonna be inside them, where we're gonna get them printed. We'll figure out pricing for that, how I'm gonna pay for it, if I'm gonna do another like crowdfunding thing, because if I order them in bulk, that's a big chunk of money. So maybe Kickstarter again, and if I'm gonna do Kickstarter again, if that's even a thing, I have to look into it. I'll have to make a video for it, and we got a lot to do. We got a lot to talk about, and I hope you are ready to help me along this journey, because I'm not gonna do it otherwise. So let me know your ideas, your thoughts. Maybe you have some suggestions for things I should put in it, things I should not include, or whatever, just let me know below. We're gonna do this together. It's gonna be so much fun. Also, if you're coming here from a little bit in the future, there'll be a link over here to watch the next episode of this series, so you can follow along and see where we've gotten to on the book. But if you're watching this, not like right now, but like when I post the video, that one won't be ready yet. So you can watch this one, because this one talks about how this daily drawing project changed my life. And I feel like that is gonna be an important part of this whole series. So you choose your own adventure. Also, if it's not in the future and that video doesn't exist, this one is just gonna be like the video that YouTube is pretty sure is gonna be the perfect video for you to watch after this one. Good talk, right? Is it good talk? This is a good talk. Okay, thank you. High five. Let's make a book. We're gonna make a book.